This is Vinnieart, and today I thought I would do a drawing kind of covering more of what people seem to enjoy the most, the female form. So I'm just going to start doing some sketching here. No, I'm not sure if this is really more of a master class or just kind of how just kind of going over the female form a little bit. Like, it's not a specific topic other than that it is the female form. I know my other master classes I was doing like particular body parts or things of that nature. But I thought like just gonna kind of play with form for today, and I'm gonna zoom up a little bit. There we go. So I'm just going to kind of flesh out a pose and go from there a bit. So, apologies if I'm a little bit quiet right now. I'm just trying to, again, like just try to get a shape down here that I want. Usually when I draw females, I'm thinking more kind of curvy shapes, roundness. This one, we'll do the good parts here. She's very very bubbly in shape. This a bit. Yeah, with women, you want to tend to make the shoulders a little bit more narrow than male characters. And I'm kind of thinking about the understructure a bit. So, we do have a skeletal system in there, but women have usually like a little bit more of a softness. Although we do have very athletic women as well. And in that case, if that's what you're drawing, you can put some extra muscle in there. But I tend to like to go a little bit softer with what I'm doing with females. Kind of makes more sense to me anyway. And again, you usually want to think about, maybe I should just do that, draw the skeletal system kind of underneath a bit, or just shapes of it. We know that the rib cage is very crucial in your drawings. I'll go back in and I'll erase a bit, but so she's kind of sitting down. So think about like the hips. Maybe her arm was coming down more. I usually kind of do like a light drawing all the way through, and then I kind of go from there and start to make things a little more solid. So let's say her leg is here. This is definitely going to be a seated position. Much like my last kind of master class, think about, again, cylinder type shapes. We got the knee, the shin coming all the way down to the foot area. The ankle in there. Usually when I think about the foot, it's kind of in parts. You want the heel, the top of the foot, and then like where the toes are pretty much going to be. So I kind of break it down a little bit into these kind of shapes. And then obviously you get in there with, you add more of the toes and all that kind of stuff. But again, I'm just kind of fleshing it out, and we're still kind of playing with it a bit. So. Again, I'm not trying to do anything extra fancy, just something more of like a simple kind of pose that we could get a little bit sexy with here and there. My proportions might be a little bit off. Excuse me. Because of how I'm doing this, usually I could see the full drawing, but I zoomed in a little bit more. So it's part of this drawing is cropped out, but I'll get back in here and fix things and play around a bit. I would prefer to do these things on just a regular drawing pad. That way I could see my entire drawing and I could think about the size of everything. But yeah, so far teaching like this is the best that I could do is the digital way. So I'm going to have to keep zooming in and out. Again, I'm just playing around a bit right now. There's nothing super serious about this drawing. Nothing super serial. Just thinking about a pose. Maybe she's like holding her hand. I don't know. Just kind of like a slightly insecure kind of pose. Because usually when you play around with these, slightly more sexy drawings, there is a slight insecurity that kind of comes off. But like having the arms in. Actually, I should actually bow this in a little bit more, to be honest. Hold on. Yeah, this is also my warm-up drawing for the day, just so everybody knows. But let me get in here and just move this in a little, and reconfigure what I'm doing. And yeah, she's very healthy. Going with a very more, I guess, bubbly shape. Voluptuous, slightly, I guess. Again, this is just how I prefer to do some drawings. I think there's more of a sex appeal. If you're going to do like a pinup type drawing, again, there's a playfulness, there's a slight insecurity to that type of an image. Because it's kind of like that girl next door vibe in pinups. That's what is usually pretty appealing. So I'm just kind of playing with those kind of ideas while I'm roughing this out. You know, and then we'll get to the face a little bit. I gotta think a little bit about the Loomis method. Again, I don't have any major rules when it comes to this kind of stuff, but I keep kind of, I guess, like a loose guideline in my head. I mean, some people want to get extra technical all the time, which is cool. If you want to do that, you're down for it, that's good. But I like to keep things a little bit loose, at least when I'm doing my drawings, because you get more of a natural feel, I've found anyway, to your drawings, and you want things that are going to be more natural, a nice, good flow. I don't know, it's a lot of drawings. I kind of look at it as it's almost like sculpting as well, take away or add, because we're kind of shaping what we want and what we're looking for, the type of faces and that kind of thing. It's everyone's a little bit different in how they do it. Zoom in a little bit more so I can see what the hell I'm doing. And again, I tend to get a little bit quiet while I'm trying to focus a little bit on what I'm doing here. But you know, also I'm trying to keep it within the time frame that I normally do these. I don't want to exceed the time too much on these kind of drawings. I'd rather spend that extra time doing like a live stream masterclass like I did last week, and we kind of get into it a little bit more and break it down. But this is just kind of getting the initial drawing going. Yeah, for a drawing like this, I'm going a little bit, like I said, everything's going to be a little bit more bubbly, including some of her features. There's like I guess you want to get like a kind of cute or flirty face to go with the kind of body that you're looking to do. Again, if this is more like a pinup drawing, you know, the certain features and stuff are going to be a little bit more exaggerated, maybe a little more friendly looking. Nice big lips. Since the head is tilted up, you're gonna have like the bottom lip is you're gonna get different angles of it. So it's more like where that like the light source is going to be hitting on this top part that I kind of circled there. So think about that kind of stuff. This is where her chin is. This would be like cast shadow. But while I'm drawing, I'm kind of thinking about what I'm going to do when I like start to color or paint a piece. So I'm thinking about lighting and shadows and that kind of stuff. Whether or not I put in a whole bunch of line work to show that or not. Again, all that stuff comes a little bit later, at least with how I do my drawings. And kind of, again, the drawing that I'm doing here, since our head is tilted, we're going to be seeing slightly different angles of like the jawbone, the chin area. So that's what I'm kind of thinking about right now as I'm forming her face. She's starting to get there. This is slightly more of a tricky angle that I did, but hopefully you guys are understanding what I'm doing and the approach to this drawing. Thinking about the forehead. Maybe just start put some hair in here. Kind of always dug the Catwoman short hair look, so I think something like this could kind of work. I might be getting a little bit carried away with what I'm kind of doing with fleshing this out, but yeah, I think I'll probably cover a little bit more of that on Saturday. either Saturday or Sunday, because that's when I'm thinking about doing it. Those live stream drawing classes. But yeah, we'll break it down like that. This is looking pretty neat. Back it up a little bit so I can see what the hell I'm doing, where we're at with this. Not too bad. I do get a little anal when it comes to getting faces right, so usually I'll look back with fresh eyes in a little bit and to see where I'm at with it, and if I'm still happy with what kind of the look that I'm going for. But because I'm like, I really want to play like with the eyes and the sultriness of it, but I don't want to get again too carried away because I'm starting to get closer to the point where I tend to end the videos, so just add a little bit more here and there. So again, just to flesh out. Just want to flesh out what we're doing, thinking about the shapes. Again, if you notice, I'm going more round with everything that I'm working on here. Thinking about structure, but then again, you know, to start taking away and erasing. It's always pretty good. Get in here. Erase some of what we got there. Right now I'm kind of thinking about, again, a little bit more of like the muscles from underneath and how the body interacts with itself. Because obviously, if like you're sitting down, things are going to be squished a certain way, and it's going to come out on the other side, or things are going to have just a different view. So if you're sitting down, like if this is the top view of a thigh, if you're sitting down, it's going to look fatter at certain points because of what's kind of being sat on, so to speak. But like I said, I could break into that a little bit more during the weekend on those live streams. proportions look a little bit off here. But again, I've been drawing this on kind of in halves, which sucks because I couldn't see my full screen. Let me find out. I'll just shrink that up a little bit. So yeah, it seems a little bit better. This is also pretty good too. So now I'm adding a little bit of perspective in here to make sure that everything's going to kind of line up properly. So I kind of put a little bit of, I'm going to have to do this eventually anyway. I'd have to get into how I break down like my grids, or what I'm doing with like 1 or 2 point perspective when it comes to these kind of things. Because we're thinking about like the horizon line where everything's going to meet. If you're thinking about, like, again, the other side of these objects, this is a little bit looser and quicker, again, than I would normally like to go, but because these videos are only supposed to be kind of short, at least for now. So like I'm thinking about like where these lines are going to be converging, and this is how you build up more of your proper perspective and whatnot. Because you try to find like where your horizon line is going to be, and again where these points are going to meet. This is very sloppy right now. But I know these programs, they also have built-in things to get that perfect perspective. Again, I'm very new to Clip Studio, and I haven't had time to explore it properly. But I know there's ways to correct and check what you're doing in terms of your perspective lines. But it's just other things to think about. And I do want to eventually get to it where I show perspective in a proper way. It's going to involve a little bit more than doing these kind of quick lessons, at least on my part. And right now my hands are very busy with working on Shadow of the Kraken. I'm doing a couple of covers and pinups for some other people. I'm still doing some freelance work just because I got to pay those bills. But yeah, Shadow of the Kraken is my newest project. If you guys aren't aware of it, please check it out. I'm going to put the links in the description as well to all my other projects and what's going on. I'll get more in depth on this drawing possibly this weekend. And yeah, I think I'm going to be doing maybe a few more other drawings and whatnot to kind of talk about the female form and how to get sexier drawings going, since a lot of people do enjoy how I draw women and whatnot. But yeah, so it's, again, this one I gave her a good shape, and her arm's kind of squishing her, so the chest area is going to be a little bit more together, and you get the nice cleavage lines. But think about that she still has muscle up here, and it's the breasts are a fatty part of the body, so it's gonna have more wiggling and squishing whenever someone's moving or how they're interacting. That goes the same with guys who are heavy. Uh, they're gonna have that extra that is gonna interact with the body and with gravity in a certain way. So, like I said, we'll probably break that down a little bit further, possibly this weekend. I'm trying to figure out what my schedule is going to be regarding all that stuff, but like we'll get into it. But I hope you guys did enjoy what I'm doing today, and in all my master classes, I'm trying to get a little bit more serious about the approach on all this stuff. But I still do want to have maybe one or two guests on when I'm doing the master sessions, which are more like the live streams where I break down stuff further. So yeah, we'll see. I'm thinking about getting McKinney on there. He's doing some great work. People, I mean, you guys should know him. He's over on Twitter. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Like I'm still trying to mess around with all this stuff. So I hope you guys are enjoying it all. If you do, hit like, subscribe, and I'll catch you next time. Remember, be kind to one another, but kick ass while you create. Have a great day. Bye.